Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. What is going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Jason, what's up, buddy? I see you in the background. And Chum Wizards, how's it going? Stopping by to say hi. Hope you all have a great morning. Hope you have a great morning too, bud. Thanks for stopping by over there on X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, what's going on, man? It's Monday. I'm Dom. I'm back. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. GM Dads, I can only stream on X. Left my laptop at home. Oh, no worries, Todd. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I spent the weekend sleeping in. What's up? What's up, Jay?
Good morning, Dom. Continue
How
on your
you
sleeping
doing?
in. I'm proud of you for getting that habit in.
It was so great. Just sleeping in. Like my brain actually let me do it too. Like I actually was able to sleep in. Was not like I was staying up late or anything. We had absolutely no plans this weekend. So we just kind of hung out and yeah, still went to bed decently normal time and then just let me sleep in, man. Felt good. What's up, Brian?
So,
Good morning.
Dom is somebody that notoriously goes to bed on time like you do. What is what's a how long do you sleep in?
How much later did I end up sleeping until?
Yeah, because you seem like whenever we talk about sleep, you usually say, yeah, at 7:30 I'm out. Doesn't matter what we're doing. Said something along those lines. You sometimes
Yeah,
you fall asleep before your family. So what does sleeping in look like to you?
probably like 6:30. Yeah, something like that. So as opposed to 4 or 5, it was just like an extra hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at most.
That's
And
healthy.
just not being like super motivated to like jump up or like, my brain, I kind of like turned it off the night before and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sleep in. The stream will move on. And I didn't wake up. I didn't set the alarms. Uh, yeah, I just needed a little bit of relaxation. Last week was a very stressful week for me. So, but we got this. We're good. How are you guys? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was pretty action packed. I can commiserate with you on. I really nailed sleep on Friday night and Saturday night. Saturday in particular, I passed out. I helped a friend move the most heavy, awkward wood shop and metalworking equipment
Ooh.
into a very old building in which he spent 3 months engineering the stairs in the front of the building for our 45 minutes of work on Saturday. It was impressive, and it was like a really good friend. Just always wanted to open up his own like woodworking and metalworking shop. Found this great place, like the last town before the Rocky Mountains start. Great view. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely almost hurt myself. It was like everything was sketchy, and everything was top heavy, and everything had metal and sharp edges. But that was the first thing on Saturday, followed by soccer, followed by a derby event that we went to, and then I passed out at 7:30 and woke up at like 4:45 in the same position that I fell asleep in the same clothes. And that never happens. I'm usually at least switching pillows 17 times.
Hmm.
But it was a busy and good. Ryan, how are you?
Stuff. I'm good, guys. I feel like I'm coming in. I'm coming in at a good spot. Started the week on a good note. My big thing is just kind of getting this structure down with the week, which has been nice. So this weekend was nice. I was able to have a wonderful conversation with one of our dads here. Actually, we had two parts, but we were able to get the second part in on Saturday, and it just reminded me about how setting the time aside to really speak with, I'm going to say other people kind of within your community, whether it's online or ever, just kind of getting to know them a little bit more. It's just so important to put perspective around certain things and be able to just get a deeper understanding of where someone's coming from. And it was such a good reminder. So happy to have that conversation. So that was one of our VDAD's episodes going to be coming out, which is nice. And I made a really concerted effort to, I've been trying to say yes a lot more to moments of, hey, do you want to join us, like with the family? Do you want to join us? We're going to go for this. We're going to go do this outside. Do you want to come with us? Or, being proactive enough to say, hey, I'm going to bring you guys outside for a little bit of time and come back, just because my goal has been for so long to be able to look more than 4 days ahead. And so I think I'm at like a good 7-8 days ahead right now, which I think is great for me. And I've made some of that space. And so I think I have to be intentional about taking the space now that I've created it, because it's easy just to kind of fall back and be like, let me just get back on work, or let me get back into a stream and watch people do stuff. So the weekend was good, coming in really nice. Dom, I'm so grateful for you. Dom is my reminder that things will be okay.
I'm all about that.
I need it.
It's
So thank
Ryan, you sound like you realize that at the best possible moment of panic. Can you dive deeper?
What do you mean?
It sounded like you were in a moment of panic and stress, and Dom came to mind, and you were immediately sedated.
Oh, right now, right in this moment.
As you were describing why you were thankful for Dom. What was the moment where you were thankful for Dom, or is it just now in general? For now.
Oh no, well, Dom, it was on my head. I wanted to share that when Dom had mentioned about letting the weekend kind of roll on and just kind of like taking the moment, which I thought was really great. But no, Dom, like even when I needed to take time away from some streams just like this one, Dom was a really strong force behind that, about like, I saw this coming or whatever was going on. He was kind of mentioning these things. So it's there's a moment of, I need to return back to Dom when I feel a little bit off. So it was good. But Dom's a good reminder. So thank you, Dom. I appreciate you. Jason, you have a nice color shirt on today. Yeah, let's jump into I liked the reading today, by the way. I think that's where I was coming in at. I was like, oh, I really liked what this was about today. That was my thought.
Go for it. Share.
Well, how did you guys feel about it? Where are we? Are we at a good page? Because Jason and I on Saturday, we did not like the reading. I think we tried and finally just said, no, we don't like this.
We definitely trash talked that page hard.
Oh, really? Yeah, I did. So I didn't read. I didn't journal. I didn't do anything. Like that's how sleep in it I was. There was no workout. I was in a mode. It was a lazy weekend, and I appreciated it for all that it was. I did read today all 3 days of reading. I guess I didn't really care too much about that one that you guys went through on May 3rd. I didn't listen to your episode, but I will at some point. So that always brings me joy. Yesterday's was a good one. Yesterday's was heavy stoicism. For anyone that didn't know, that was a heavy stoicism one yesterday. The 4 virtues. And then today's was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. Floyd Patterson teaching, all that stuff. I figured I wanted to hear from our resident teacher, and then of course, if you said you liked it, Ryan, I want to hear what you got to say. So
my mind went exactly to teaching immediately, as well as to a very specific student, who I will leave unnamed for legal reasons. Yesterday was heavy, talking about courage, moderation, justice, and wisdom. And that was like one of the pages where I was kind of questioning my fortitude in those 4 pillars is like, do I keep those in mind? Like trying to find, I feel like I'm usually pretty good at like finding examples and connections in the day's page. This one really made me kind of think if I was really doing those meaningfully and purposefully and on purpose. I guess those are 2 same things. But yeah, good page yesterday. Today, talking about champion boxer Floyd Patterson. Rough childhood, seems like. Had a rough go at school. Skipping school, getting into trouble, all that jazz, and then ultimately going into a boys' commune up in upstate New York. Met a psychologist who showed him a different way of approaching challenging people. And my example with this is I have a kid at the end of my day. There's a class I have 3 days a week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's usually like, that's just end of the day is the worst day to have a class because kids are usually tired. And sometimes that comes out in different ways with students. This particular student, I do really like outside of class. He actually lives close to me. But he frequently engages in wanton destruction of like things that I don't really care about in the room that are very cheap or just have been there for a while. But just the fact that it's wanton destruction annoys me. And I have a talk.
What is wanton?
Wanton just means like just whatever is within reach, he'll grab and study and play with and figure out how it breaks.
Oh, got it.
With
no real relation to the cookie?
Anger. What?
Is that any relation to like the I guess the food?
Well, here's where I'm going with this, Ryan. I had a talk with him on Thursday. I did in a class where he was just like, I just don't like this class. And he's enjoyed other classes, but the other students are pretty on the level with that class for what we're doing. And when I left that class and it was on my mind on Friday, I was like, I think I'm just gonna like put him in my teacher partner's room just to sit there for class. But I was like, let's take this moment, because what he likes to do is he likes to take little chunks of clay that he finds around the room from my ceramics unit, and he just like crushes them into powder with different tools. That's what he likes to do. Is it destructing something? Yes, but he does it very, very meticulously. Like, yes, there could be a connection to like, chopping up things into powder, but I recognize that it's very interactive because crushing dried pieces of clay is very satisfying. So I'm going into this kind of like how the psychologist went with Floyd Anderson and approaching a different way. I have a gigantic block of dried out clay. It's a 25-pound block of clay. And I'm considering putting him in a space in the room and giving him a screwdriver and some clay working tools and just having him scratch at it and sculpt it instead to see what happens. It could blow up in my face, but it could go really well. But I think I'm going to try it. And this page kind of cemented that decision.
I like that story.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm also invested now because I want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm an 80% with this.
We'll see. Ryan wants to go destroy some wontons later.
I'll destroy no fortune cookie safe for me.
I just want to know, am I the only one that needed wonton to be defined in this moment? I feel like I'm not alone. And I love that I learned a new word today.
It's just, that was just one of my items on my 2025 to-do list was use wonton in destruction.
This is it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Check.
Item number 335. Done.
Brofit wants a 25-pound block of clay as well, so I'll DM you his address. What do you want it for, Brofit?
Lifting. It's very it's an awkward 25 pounds. He'd enjoy it.
All right, Ryan. What did you think of the reading?
Nasty. I liked the reading. I liked the quote that was in there as well. But yeah, I think it's the idea of we can't just create voids by telling children no, right? When we teach kids no, don't do that, we start with a reductionist, how I define reductionist kind of parenting strategy. You leave a void for a kid to go do something else, and we don't know what that is. And so, the idea there of kind of like being able to teach a kid, like, okay, well, you just did that, but this is something that could have been done instead, and giving them that choice and letting them know. And so I really liked the idea that I know I always read this, but this is what Dr. Papanek had said. He said, punishment teaches the child only how to punish. Scolding teaches him how to scold. By showing him that we understand, we teach him to understand. By helping him, we teach him to help. He learns cooperation by cooperating. And so I always think of these internal cues of, okay, I know I shouldn't do that right now. Like I think of my youngest. Okay, I know this isn't good. And I know that what's going to happen if I do this, I'm going to get attention, however that attention is. But I would like that internal cue, that internal monologue with my kids, and any kid really. And even like with my clients, I think of the same thing, right? I can't just tell someone not to eat something or do something, but if we keep saying don't do that without letting them know what to do, I think it gives, like, we're not really parenting, right? We're just basically putting up boundaries without anything, and we're just kind of closing the kid in. And then once we close someone in enough with enough restriction, they're going to explode. They're going to have a hard time. So I think being able to let them know what to do with an emotion, what to do with a feeling, what to do, with free time, like all of those things. So I really like this idea here. But it also comes back to the idea of kind of listening first, and making sure that we spend time to understand exactly what they really want from it. Like if my daughter comes to me and keeps asking me for tape, I want to know, well, what are you going to do with this tape? Because last time you just like unloaded the whole roll, and then it was stuck to everything. But like, if that's what my thought is and I'm not listening, and I say, okay, well then don't use the tape. But really what she wanted to do was be able to like decorate something on her desk. It's like, well, if you're going to decorate, great, we're doing something with it. And is there another way to decorate? Not the best example, but that's just something that I want to make sure that I'm always kind of thinking about. So I liked it. I mean, we all know a troubled kid from the past. And I think that we just need to be able to understand where they're coming from, right? Even with our kids, sometimes when my 4-year-old is blowing up, we let it happen. But really, when we kind of listen, we understand, well, what do they want? It usually is attention. Hey, you want a hug? Most of the time, it's like a hug takes care of it, right? So I like this page. It was good. And Dom, thank you for turning back to yesterday. I didn't read yesterday, actually. And it was really good breakdown of what Stoicism was. So thank you. I'm probably going to read that again.
Yep, I liked it, and it breaks it down a little easier, and then you can go and dive into each one of those topics a little deeper, because Ryan Holiday has a book on each one of those. So, but yeah, I really like that passage. I appreciate you reading that one over again, because that one made me think the most, because I was like, yeah, I do feel the way that I treat my kids sometimes, with either punishing them or scolding them. I can see in the moment, I kind of feel like I know no other way to do it. And so through this book, I feel like I'm learning other ways, and through you guys, I'm learning these other ways. But in the meantime, when I'm at my wit's end or whatever, or I'm down on my energy at the end of the day, I still go back to these things, the yelling and the scolding and the punishing. And but I can see that it doesn't do anything. I can see that it either they take it and it happens, or what's also happening is I see them. Am I still there? Mine says connecting. Okay.
You're here.
Okay. I kind of see it moving into the way that they react with each other. I have older girls, and so I can see I see them yell and try to punish their little brother. Like, it's a weird thing. Like when he's doing something, Amy and I are talking to him, and the girls are also talking to him. So he's got like almost four parents. I joke like he has like four parents trying to teach him what to do, and my role becomes like trying to distract or tell the girls to knock it off while Amy can talk to him. It's just a weird thing being the youngest with older siblings.
Mm.
Well, you're talking, Dom. I go to when I hear my girls fight. Sometimes I'll hear the way, like when me and Kristen get mad at the kids or have to keep like telling them to do something a certain way. When we're less controlled, sometimes I hear that come out in how the girls talk to each other, like in the way in which it's you've given the instructions to do something, whether it's put something away or clean something up multiple times, and I sometimes hear that come out in the words and the mannerisms that the girls use sometimes. Do you notice that as well? Like when you say like your youngest has like four parents, is it ever at the same time where it's just like overwhelming, or is it just kind of like one at a time?
Oh no, there's literally like three people talking at the same time, and they're all saying the same thing. And at some point, that's what kind of like it actually stops me from continuing to parent in that direction, because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, our parenting style is so obvious and repetitive that our girls have already picked it up, and they know how to parent him the way that we are parenting him. And so again, it'll be like, we need to. I'll stop it and um, tell the girls we don't need anyone else. We don't need you guys to say what we're already saying, or we don't need you guys to parent him like you're not his parent, like that kind of thing. Even though they're saying like the exact same thing we're saying.
Yeah. So you got it. You're like you have to parent the parenting.
Yes, exactly. It's to parent his other parents, because they're not parents. They're my kids.
Stay in your lane, kids.
I'm
What do
here
you
for
guys
you.
say to your kids when they like I hear my oldest trying to kind of, I don't know if she's doing it on purpose, but kind of like antagonizing a little bit, like starting to kind of like start that fight up a little bit, or like my youngest will say something and then my oldest needs to um prove her wrong. And my thought is like, why do we have to do that? Like, why do we have to now? Like, that what you're going to say right now is going to start a fight with her and it's going to make this hard. And I feel as if with my oldest, I'm like, okay, well, you're 4 years older than her. You definitely like, and the words now come out where I'm like, I don't know if I want to say this. I'm like, you're old enough. You should know. You're the bigger sister. Like, she's the younger sister. And sometimes like these words that I'm like using, I'm like, I don't know if this sounds right. Like, am I taking something away from her by not letting her kind of like not argue, but like I'm kind of shutting her up, right? It's the same thing as me saying like, stop talking, right? Shut up. Like, don't make this moment harder because I don't want to hear it. And so there's this like weird, do you guys know what I'm talking about? You guys have that?
Keep going.
Just like, yeah, no, I mean, like, I feel like it's my oldest needs to assert a little bit of like knowledge, I guess, or like I'm not saying this as clearly as I want to, but she
needs to flex a bit.
Yeah, what's the word? Help me with the word here, right? She is just basically trying to, I think she's trying to argue a little bit. And it's like she doesn't like I think sometimes she feels the attention moving away from her, right? If we're like, oh, like, okay, DM, your picture looks so good. And then she'll be like, oh, well, that's not even a circle that you're telling her is a circle. Well, then you didn't need to say that, right? So like it's this moment and I'm like, oh, like don't bring that up. Like, stop saying that because it's just going to be a fight. And I'm like winking at her like, it's okay. It's a circle, right? Like, you were here before. it's just this dynamic in this moment that, I want to make sure, again, I'm basically just saying, don't do that. But really, hey, what could I tell her instead? So,
Disingenuous, is that the word we're looking for?
man, I'm getting frustrated that you guys don't know what I'm saying, and that's not fair.
I also wanted to use disingenuous as well. So trying to get 2 for 1
All
episode.
right. Got it. I think Brofit knows what I'm saying.
Argue for argument's sake. That's stir the pot, kick the bee's nest.
There we go. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think you called it. It's an attention thing. It's when the younger one or the older one gets an attention, they are just always they're just always I don't think they do it on purpose. I don't think they know they're doing it. I don't think anyone really knows why they do it. It's an attention thing. It's kind of like when people post something on social media and then like my first response, and I've deleted so many responses. My first response is to say something like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me," and da 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 da. And like I think it's a connecting thing, but I also think maybe it's an attention thing. So that's why I delete a lot of them. Because what's going on here?
Sorry, press.
Actually, kind of now want a soundtrack to our episodes. This is a good reminder.
Pressed the wrong button there. Sorry.
Oh, Jason was just trying to take me down a peg because I was getting the attention just there.
Tom, I love your story, but have you heard this? A meme monster, Dom. I think that's who you're in the worst case scenario. Yeah, somebody who just kind of sucks up the air in the room, which our kids aren't. Well, I guess sometimes kids can. But yeah, somebody who jumps in possibly with good intentions to share and connect, but over and over again and repeatedly, it just becomes, it's like you can never win. It's like you never have a space to shine. I know some people like that. Yeah.
I think it's a good reminder to give them a space to shine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
good.
it's definitely a good reminder of that one-on-one time of like, and then also just, I think the way to handle it is to kind of separate, like just say, look, I'm over here. I'll come to you next or something like that. I don't know. It's something that I've tried, but can't say is successful. I mean, in the moment, it's like you're giving one kid the attention. Yeah, but it's still hard for their brains to rationalize it, right? It's hard for them to see, okay, dad's just gonna sit with Brooklyn for 5 to 10 minutes, and then he'll come over to me. And then I turn around and he's distracted in something else, and I'm like, okay, well now I can go do something else. So then he loses that moment, or we lose that moment. Yeah.
And how do you rationalize doing that with adults? That's always something that I kind of think about. As far as when somebody keeps jumping in, like how do you positively keep the conversation on track? And I've done it before too, I think, when I reflect on past interactions.
I don't know.
I'm not saying anything. No, it's good.
Well, that was our show.
That was it.
Did I just kill the conversation? Did I totally untrack this? Is this my fault?
No, but you know what I am? I'm overthinking right now this idea of sharing an experience to connect. Just like Dom, you were saying, like your first thought is to, hey, this happened to me too. And it's like every day I feel that way. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I know how my brain is wired. And so it's like it is something that I know that I'm constantly fighting against, but it's like, I don't want to miss the moment to connect with this person. Okay, wait a second, stop and ask a question first, right? Get into their head. Lately, you know what I've been doing? I've been stopping and I've been trying to think, okay, think of like a who, what, where, when, and why. All right. Take one of those and you can apply it really quickly, right? So like Jason, whatever you brought up with that student, like, all right, before I share like, oh yeah, I feel that way too. Like I would end up saying, oh wait, interesting. That kid, what part of the day is this in, right? like kind of like where is he right now in the classroom? Not a good example, but I would definitely kind of stop. I've been noticing it. I've been having to do that a little bit more lately, and I'm kind of curious why that's happening. But Dom, it's a good reminder.
Yeah, it is. It's a skill exercise.
Don't jump in. Don't jump in. Don't jump in. Good reminder to be a curious crane. Okay. All right. Good stuff.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. Send it out. Do it.
Give us
You
music.
good? Is there a dog there?
No dog right now. We do have a dog coming up. Let me see. Oh, this dog that's coming in is a tough one. It's a return dog. When
Good
is
luck,
this?
man.
Thursday.
Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. If you're celebrating, enjoy your week. Oh, the sun's coming out. All right, let's go.
Sun's in my eyes. Time to go. Earlier and earlier every time. All right. See you guys.
See you
We
guys.
got music. I can't.
Have
I
a
can't
great
do
day.
silence. Okay. Hey.